props here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, December 17th, NBA Cup championship game, the finals, or I guess the final game here in the NBA Cup. We got Bucks OKC. Again, before I get started, link in the description below. Hop into the Discord. It's where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. We have other captions in there as well. Super positive community. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. There's currently a promo going on. First-time members in the Discord, 20% off your first month. Comes out to like $7 for the first 30 days with the link in the description below using promo code TUFF. 5-point spread here in this one. Obviously, NBA Cup game, a lot on the line, a lot at stake here. I got 2 player props that I am targeting for this game. Milwaukee OKC, only game on the night too. Should be a fun one. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. First play I'm looking at here is going to be Kason Wallace, over 19.5 fantasy score. I think it's anytime you can get a starter that is going to play 30 plus minutes, fantasy score line under 30 with kind of the defensive upside that he does have. I do like it. I mean, we take a look at OKC's rotations. He does start at the shooting guard position. He's projected for around 30 minutes tonight. I could see him playing a little bit more just with, I think, rotations become a little tighter here, specifically in this game. I mean, in these 2 NBA Cup elimination games, he's played 31 and 32 minutes. And really, I mean, you can see the hit rate on this type of line, right? Over 1.5 steals plus blocks is currently minus 155. He's over at least 2 stocks in 20 of 25 games this season, right? Just giving us that defensive upside. That's like 6 fantasy points right there. And he also does not turn the ball over a ton either, just because he's not like a primary ball handler. I mean, you can see here he's got 1 game with 4+ turnovers. And in that game, he still had 21 fantasy points. But yeah, taking a look at this hit rate here over on Outlier. Again, there's a link in the description below. You can get a 7-day free trial with Outlier. Over this fantasy score line of 19.5 this season, he's over in 13 of 25 games, right? But in games when he actually is the starter, right, he's going to play at least 28 minutes, in my opinion. He's over this line in 8 of 10 games with averaging 26.43, with his 2 misses finishing with 18.4 and 19.2 against 2 of the tougher defensive teams to guards in the NBA, Golden State and Houston. Now, we know Milwaukee is not very good against guards. I know Shea is going to have his day, but I can see Doc Rivers kind of doubling Shea in this one, similarly to how the Bucks doubled. They were doubling Trae Young. Trae Young still went crazy, but they were doubling Trae Young. But Kason Wallace, I mean, the Bucks allow the most points and the 6th most rebounds to the point guard position. To the shooting guard position, kind of middle of the road, but these 2 combined, I mean, just to guards in general, right? I could definitely see a situation where actually this is going to be a situation. Andre Jackson is going to be guarding Shea, and Damian Lillard is going to be guarding Kason Wallace. Kason Wallace should see the easiest defensive matchup of anyone on the floor, right? Damian Lillard is the weakest defender in this Bucks starting lineup, and that's who's going to be guarding Kason Wallace. So he should see his opportunities there. I definitely think he can get into some passing lanes as well, get some steals and blocks. We look at guards' fantasy score game log this season versus the Bucks when playing 28+ minutes. I mean, we've seen 21 guards clear this line, and this is just really since like the last couple weeks, right? This is not the full season. This is like the oldest date here is I think November 22nd or November 18th. So like in the last month, we've seen 22 different guards have 20+ fantasy points here against the Bucks when playing 28+ minutes. So keeping it simple here, I like Kason Wallace over 19 fantasy scores. Second play here is going to be Chris Middleton, 19.5 fantasy score. Again, another buy low for subsidiary player on these teams. But Chris Middleton is the hit rate is too good, and this is a championship type of game. I can't see Doc Rivers not playing Chris Middleton 20+ minutes in this one. Since he's been back for injury, right? He's played 23, 20, 20, and 22. He is on 3 days rest here. So, again, I could see him ramp up closer to 25 minutes. But let's just give him a floor of 20 minutes in this one. He's over in 3 or 4 games this season, right? 18.6 last time against Atlanta. Did not shoot the ball that well, 2 for 7. Had 23.8 fantasy against Orlando and only took 2 field goal attempts. Didn't even make a field goal, had 0 points, still had 23.8. Showing us the type of upside that Chris Middleton has as a fantasy points per minute type of player. We go back to last season, he faced OKC twice. or this is PRA, sorry. I just wanted to share the matchup. So against small forwards, OKC, most points, most rebounds, eighth most assists to the small forward position. So it's the best matchup on the floor for anyone on the Bucks. And then we look at just this fantasy score hit rate at 19.5 for Chris Middleton last season versus OKC, 36 and 36 in both games. And then in 2023, he was over this line in 55 of 61 games, but in games when he played 20 minutes, over in 50 of 50. Every single game last season when he played 50 plus minutes, over on this line, averaging 34.12 fantasy. We look at small forwards game log this season versus OKC logging 18 plus minutes, right? We've seen 19 since really November 11th, right? So a little over a month. We've seen 19 different, players that are labeled as small forward. Clearly over on this 19.5 line. Like, there's so many ways for this to hit. This debatably is my play of the day here. But let me know in the comments below about these two plays. Locking this in here for 2-man. Please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and as always, have a great day.